Welcome to the Panama City RockTenn paper mill. This site is a natural selection representing the National Association of Manufacturers. Manufacturing began in this area with boat building and sawmills. During the Depression, the mill was built and started operations over 80 years ago. Two other manufacturing facilities are next door. We have Arizona Chemical to our east. We've got Eastern Shipbuilding to our west. Representing the National Association of Manufacturers is Chris Prescia, Vice President of Governmental Affairs at the RockTenn.
Thank you, Tim. As Tim mentioned, I'm Vice President for Government Affairs, but today I'm wearing another hat as well. And I am the current chairman of the NAM's Key Vote Committee. And that is a group of about 12 to 13 manufacturers from around the country who spend the better part of time in the course of a legislative session identifying those particular votes that are important to advancing the cause of manufacturing in the United States. Then we send out a letter to each member of Congress before they take that vote, and so that they know that this is a key vote, something that's very important, not only perhaps for their constituencies, but for the country. So today I'm very pleased to be here to express our appreciation to Representative Steve Southerland, who is a winner of this prestigious award in his first term in the United States House of Representatives. And the award goes to those who've demonstrated an understanding and support for manufacturing sector's vital role in the economy, and who've achieved at least a 70% voting record in support of manufacturing. Steve has an 86% favorable voting record with the NAM, and he's continued to take a firm stand on pro-manufacturing, tax and trade issues, and many others, including those that particularly affect our industry, involving the Environmental Protection Agency. Before I go on, I would like to be very clear and stress that this is not a campaign rally, it's not a fundraiser, and it is no way a political or campaign event. It's simply an opportunity for the NAM, and we're having these all across the country for those who've achieved this status and this award, to say thank you to Representative Southerland for his efforts in the 112th Congress, and we as RockTenn are pleased to host this award. Now, I don't have to tell you, come from this region, who Steve Southerland is, but he's been a leader in this area of Florida, owning and operating a local small business and taking an active role in community long before his election to the 112th Congress. But Steve serves on the House Committee on Agricultural, Natural Resources, and Transportation, which are very important committees for the movement of freight that we have, for the production of paper and all of the natural resource input concerns that we have, and then for the actual manufacturing side of our business. He's played a critical role in protecting jobs, promoting economic development, and preserving the treasured resources of Florida's 2nd District, which is what his vote record reflects. So I'm pleased today to go the extra mile to make sure that everyone here understands that this is a representative who went to Congress for the first time and stuck to the principles that he espoused when he chose to become a public official at the federal level. And what this award does is it recognizes that consistency. There are many things, and Steve's going to have an opportunity to talk, to maybe express better than I possibly can what the fundamentals of his position in Washington are, and how that fuels and can fuel the growth and the resurgence, if you will, of our economy, which is important to all of us because it's fundamental to creating jobs. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is ask Steve to come forward. I'm going to present him with the award. Then I'm going to ask him to take a few minutes to talk about his experiences in Washington and what he sees as what we need to do to go forward. And then we'll open it up for questions and answers for anyone that may want to have a particular question to address. Steve, on behalf of the NAM,
gosh, what a man! What a great honor. He's not going to put it down here, but I don't. That's heavy. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I will tell you, the manufacturers are critical to our community, and and so I thought, what a when I heard that you wanted to bestow this upon me, and you mentioned coming here, I said, this is perfect. You're what a perfect venue. I want to thank RockTenn. I want to thank everything you do. Scott, good to see you here. I see you in D.C. quite often, fighting for the men and women who call this place home and work here. I just want to thank RockTenn for all your support. I want to thank the association. The manufacturers are key. There are communities there's communities like this all over the country where we build things, we create things, we make things that American citizens want to buy and people around the world want to buy. And I really believe with all my heart that if we would unleash the creativity, the ingenuity, the workmanship, the can-do attitude of the American people, if the federal government would get its boot off our neck, we'll continue to do what this country has done for 240 years. We will produce things not just that Americans want, but that the world wants. And so when I went to Washington, it was with the desire and the promise that we're going to remove any kind of impediments that stand between us and doing what we do best. You know, I think there's a lot of things that we struggle with in Washington, D.C. There's so many trade agreements that I think are ridiculous, that we give other countries access to our market, but they don't give us access to theirs. And it's high time that we push through trade agreements that created a level playing field for the American manufacturing community. So I'm humbled to be here today. And look at this. I mean, why do you want to leave this place? I mean, this is a beautiful place that my family is proud to call home. I did not go to Washington, D.C. To pursue a new life, a new identity. No. I went to Washington, D.C. to preserve the one we have. This is a great place, and you make this a great place. Many of you I went to school with. Many of you went to school, some of it with my father, my mother. You knew my grandfather. This is home. We love the people here. I'm right at home coming to Millville. And I have to say, I love seeing those lawn trucks pulled across your scales. It's a little personal for me. And I know that my family works hard. Many people know us to be our funeral business that my grandfather started, but we also as a family we log wood, and I tell you, I know that it is critical that we have regulation, but that we not have onerous regulation that's like kudzu, that literally chokes us to death. And so I'm proud with the manufacturers. I'm proud to be a sponsor and supporter of some of the Boilermac regulations that we've pushed through the House, because there are many people in Washington, D.C. that want this mill to go away. They want Arizona Chemical to go away. There's a lot of people that don't want Eastern Shipbuilding building ships. They want it to go away. Well, I know that the greatest stimulus for a community is a good paying job. And I know that the people of this community, they don't want anything for free. They want to work. They want to work. They want to create a better life for them, their children, and their grandchildren from the sweat of their brow. It's called earned success. You don't want a handout. You want to earn a brighter future. That is moral. That is moral. And so we're going to continue to fight your cause, whether it's Bull Mac legislation or whether it's some of the onerous EPA regulations, the point water source things that we're dealing with in the woods. Unbelievable. The EPA wants our loggers to have to literally file with the EPA to get a permit, okay, to cut a section of wood. Well, do you know anything that they wouldn't slow down and gum up? No, we've got to make sure that men and women in this country can go to work, have earned success, and not have to apologize for the blessings of what that hard work is given them. So I don't have to tell this group, you know more about me than most. This is home. I thank you for your support. I thank you for being here. I thank you for the association and what a wonderful award. I was not aware of the score, so to fight the cause and score 87 for the things that ensure that plants like this continue to receive that wood and pump out paper that not just America wants, but the world wants. We're going to keep doing that. And so we got to work hard to improve upon that 87. And with your help, we'll go back and we'll continue to fight the fight for all of the stakeholders in this mill. And let me say this predates me for sure. I grew up in a family where we smell that smell in the morning, and that's bacon and eggs. That's what bacon and eggs smells like. You know what I'm talking about. And if you were raised in this community, that's the smell of opportunity. That's the smell of earned success. And we should not have to apologize. And unfortunately, we should not have to defend it the way we're being made to defend it. But I thank you for your recognition. I thank you for being here, coming down. You might want to buy a vacation home down here. I tell you what, this is a pretty good place down here. God bless you, and I'd certainly like to. You made reference to fielding any questions or any comments. I'd be happy to do that. Thank you. This is a shy group. That's
that way.
well, I think.
How many votes you gonna win by?
Man, how many votes am I going to win by? I tell you what, that's a big question. I don't know. I know we're working hard. And we still. The thing about this election is we have to. We're a member of Congress. Yesterday we met with federal workers, union employees up with the federal prisons. Have some incredible concerns that we need to know about. So not only are we focused on an election, and we are, but we've still got to be a member of Congress. We've still got to understand your challenges and the things that affect you on a legislative front. We don't have the luxury of just focusing 100% on a campaign. We've got to continue to do the job of a member of the House of Representatives. So I don't know the answer to that question, but I hope it's a lot. Yeah, I hope it's a lot. So any other questions?
We appreciate the support, Steve, that you give to the mill.
Well, we're going to continue to give the support to this mill. I thank you for your kindness and your recognition. I know Scott comes up I've seen Scott in my office up in D.C. He comes to fight for RockTenn and the employees, and always polite, always coming in with issues that affect you. And I just thank you for coming. You know, they always say the squeaky wheel is the one that gets the attention, gets the grease, and so I when you have trips, fly-ins, you send representatives like Scott up to DC to visit us. I know that takes money. I know that takes resources and dues, and I'm telling you though, it's critical. It's critical that because not everybody understands this mill the way I understand it. Not everybody grows up in an area like North Florida where we harvest pine tree like we do. And so when you come up, I tell Scott it's kind of like preaching to the choir, but we need to help get him and your representatives in other offices who don't understand the issues like we do. And so you're going to have us support you. You're going to have us fight your cause. But the best thing we can do is help get you access into other offices that maybe don't understand the issues like we do because they didn't grow up here or in a community like we grew up in. So we're going to keep doing that. Thank you. Thank you.
They only polite your offices.
I'm sorry?
I'm only polite, Your Honor.
Hey, I knew that Scott Hollis from high school, so I know I know you can do whatever you need to do depending on the scenario. I'm playing with you. I went to school with Scott and his sister and know him well. Yes, sir.
Who's pushing the water? You're talking about getting the camera, trying to get water permits. Who's pushing that?
Well, there was a ruling this year by the Ninth Circuit. Now, the Ninth Circuit is the federal circuit out in what we call the West Coast, the left coast. And a lot of times that's the circuit that environmental groups file their lawsuits because they know that the federal judges out there are going to rule, oftentimes in their favor. So that's going to continue to be a battle. The EPA is led by a very capable environmentalist, Lisa Jackson, who is dead set on making sure that it's harder for mills like this to operate and for loggers to be able to log. And I'll say this for companies like John Deere and Mack and all the companies, the regulations placed on their engines, driving up the cost of those machinery, Tiger Cat and all those things. But that particular water source issue was a ruling by the Ninth Circuit out in California, and it's continued. It'll continue to be fought. It'll continue to be appealed. But these guys are committed. They're committed to their cause, and they're not helping our job numbers. Look, we just got through. We have the administration is jumping up and down because unemployment dropped to 7.8 after being at over 8% for 43 consecutive months. Listen, 7.8 is nothing to be proud of. All right, and that's just the people we know. We know the month before that, almost 400,000 people left the workforce. They left because they couldn't find a job. They quit looking. And so those aren't even counted. Those individuals are not even counted in the unemployment numbers. So, look, you can't. You can only continue to fool the people so long. We need jobs, and even more so than jobs, we need careers. Many of you have had a career here. Many of you have been here 30 years, and it's been consistent. It's been certain. Your family knows that you're going to work. They know your hours. They know you're going to come back. You're going to put a roof on their head. You're going to put food on the table. And you're going to provide for their needs. That's certain. And so you've had careers here. Retirement, insurance, that's a career. We don't just need jobs. We need careers. And a career is somewhere you can come in, you're going to get your guaranteed 40 hours. You're going to get the benefits that go along with that. But it's amazing the people that they count as employed that are now working 29 hours. You can't feed your family on 29 hours. And you're not going to get benefits on 29 hours. But so I'm fighting that we got to get their boot off our neck. And I'm going to do exactly what I promised I would do. I'm going to fight that.
Congressman, you referenced us.
Excuse me, you're not. I know you're not with the media, and you're not part of this group, and so
you referenced the stimulus.
You haven't earned the right to ask a question. So thank you, though. I appreciate you being here. By the way, we'll introduce David. David is with the Democratic Party of Florida, and you're not one of us. You're not here to help. You really don't care about this mill. And so I appreciate you being here, and I'm sure these people would love to talk to you. And thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Thank you very much.
We don't care how many votes you win by, just win.
There's a couple things that I omitted. First, I wanted to thank Associated Industries of Florida for being here, and Conner Industries for being here, also members of the National Association of Manufacturers. But I'd like to digress on a personal note for a minute, because I do advocacy in Washington, D.C. for a living. That's what RockTenn pays me to do. And we're represented by over 140 members of Congress from around the country who represent mills like this or box plants or recycling facilities or merchandising display units, whatever it may be. And so I get to see a whole range of elected officials, both new, both experienced, over many years. I've been doing this over 35 years. One of the things that strikes me about Steve Southerland and about his staff is that it's immediate recognition. What do you need? What's the issue? They want to know what the pros and cons are. They want to be able to give Steve the advice that he needs, and for him to be an advocate for RockTenn and our employees. He's a freshman member of the House of Representatives, but that doesn't stop him from going to the leadership and from making sure that something doesn't occur in Washington that slips through the process that he knows is going to hurt our company and our employees. That's why I'm here today, because I could have chosen all sorts of other places to be to give this same award, but I personally chose to be here to give Steve Southerland this award because of the type of character that he personifies, and that he says he does what he says he's going to do, period. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Steve is going to be around if you want to shake his hand a bit. The formal part of the program is over. I would like to get a couple pictures up here with the NAM members and the award with Steve.
They got Dodge there?
He had just referenced the stimulus for the community, those good paying jobs. I just wanted to ask him about, he's called the stimulus bill a boondoggle when he was running for Congress, but before he started running for Congress, he was the head of an organization that accepted millions of dollars in stimulus funding. I just thought he might want to clarify if it's a boondoggle or if it's something worthwhile.
So if it's a boondoggle, why are you receiving funds, kind of?
That was what I was trying to get out.
Yeah. Interesting. There's a lot of political details I have no clue about. I'd certainly be one of them.
Yeah, you too.